Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big League Dreaming, the podcast, the show about fulfilling your dreams and taking it to the next level. If you're new to the Big League Dreaming podcast, it is a show with a dad and his three sons where we talk a little bit, make that a lot, about baseball. It's not just reliving the glory days. Yes, we all played baseball in our day. I coached. Kids all played at the collegiate level. And, they still continue in baseball in some way. Actually, one of the three sons is coaching at NAIA IUSB, Indiana University at South Bend. In fact, I'm on a little road trip right now. I want to be heading to see the team play in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and next weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm actually all three of the sons. I'm seeing them all here in the next 2 weeks, spending some time with them. And it's fun. We did an unpacking of some Topps baseball cards in the most recent podcast. So if you get a chance to go watch that video and listen to that podcast, we get ready because spring training is here, right? College baseball has begun at the NAIA and Division II level. And then this past weekend also was opening weekend for D1 baseball, where Zach and I got to watch some baseball as well on TV. We went to a D2 game in person. I'll let him tell you all about that game at Wingate, which was a lot of fun. My first chance to go see some D2 championship baseball. Really good baseball, right, Zach? At that D2 level and at Wingate in North Carolina. So right now I'm actually in Myrtle Beach, right next door to the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, where Zach actually worked at for a couple seasons, maybe 2 seasons, right? I don't remember now. It all kind of blurs when you get older, right? But this family is surrounded by baseball all the time, and we're always talking baseball. So you're going to hear from each one of the sons here in a few seconds, because we're talking college baseball is back as we prepare for spring training at the major league level. But Zach and I had a chance to watch Central Michigan open up their season at Baylor in Waco at the D1 level. We watched the Friday night game, and it was fun watching college baseball again. Central Michigan lost in Coach Mitch Thompson's debut as head coach. He's been there for 18 years, but now is coming back as head coach after winning a JUCO national championship. They have a very young team in Baylor, but it was fun to see that game on TV. We were watching it together. Central Michigan lost in a heartbreaker in 10 innings, but they came back to win the series. They won the series 2-1 in that Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. They actually plated 20 runs on Saturday, an impressive win, and then held off Baylor in the finale, Game 3, to win 4-3 and take the series 2-1 in Waco. So Central Michigan off to a great start. My alma mater, where I went to school and studied journalism and studied sports journalism, actually wrote for the CM Life, wrote for CM Life, covering many sports there when I started my career as a sports writer. But now today I'm a retired sports writer. Actually, no, I'm not retired. I'm still writing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna babble a little bit because it's just been an exciting time for me to be on the road. As I said, we were in North Carolina. We're in Myrtle Beach right now. Then we're going to head down south for a little bit more and then end this trip in Lawrenceville to watch Zane's team play IUSB. So you're going to hear from all the sons about their college baseball. I just want to say that I'm excited about college baseball coming back. Excited for Central Michigan's baseball team. Head coach Jordan Bechtel is putting together another quality squad. Not a lot of returning players from the success that they've had the last few years, but this team definitely has been one to watch when it comes time for Omaha. That's a long way away. It's still February, but we're already talking about Omaha. I know they're excited about it, but this team, you look at Central Michigan's team, they've made 3 straight NCAA regionals, and they won a combined 132 games in the last 3 full seasons when you factor in 2019, 21, and 22. The Chippewas were 43-19 last season, winning the MAC tournament and going 1-2 in the Gainesville Regional, beating Liberty 3-2 in 12 innings. So this team is road tested, but they're still young, and they've got a lot of room to grow. I expect great things for them. Zach was telling me that he saw somewhere that Central Michigan could be the best baseball team in the state of Michigan at the collegiate D1 level. So that's exciting to hear. All right, I've rambled enough. You want to hear from the other guys? Let's go right to Zach, where he'll talk about our experience at Wingate and some of his favorite teams at the D1 level of college baseball. Zach, on to you.
Thanks, Dad. Yes, it was really cool having you come visit us this past weekend. and got to go to our first baseball game of 2023 live in person. So I've been waiting for that day. It's got to see some really good D2 baseball. Wingate University, which is just about 15-20 minutes down the road from where I live, in Wingate, North Carolina. They're playing against Nova Southeastern, which is a D2 school out of Florida, which is a really, really good respected program as well for Division II. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to see Davenport make a run. Maybe they'll end up playing one of those schools, when they go to their World Series or something like that. If they make it, so that'd be really cool to see. But yeah, we had some good weather. Good to see some baseball. Dad, I know you're excited for your Central Michigan Chippewas. I saw that on a couple of different publications saying that Central is the best team in Michigan, best baseball team in Michigan this year. So better than State and better than Michigan. We'll see what kind of year they can have. To our listeners, we actually got to interview the third base coach, Tom Winsk, from Central Michigan 2 years ago, 2021, when we spoke with him. So if you want to circle back and listen to our interview with Coach Winsk, please do. So a few of my favorites this year. I guess I'll run down the top 10 rankings for college baseball at this moment after the first weekend has completed. Of course, rankings at this time of the year don't really mean anything at all. A lot of these teams are going to jumble up. A lot of these teams are going to fall out of the top 25. Playing new teams will come in. But for the top 10, I guess I'll go 10-1. Number 10 right now is Vandy, and these are all from D1Baseball.com rankings, and what Kendall Rogers and Aaron Fitt do over there at D1Baseball.com is just awesome. Really college baseball as a whole, as far as coverage, has just boomed over the last, 5-10 years. It's really cool to see. So you got Vandy at ranked number 10 right now, Arkansas number 9, TCU is number 8. And those three teams actually played out at the Texas Rangers Stadium, Globe Life Park, and they kind of exchanged blows with each other. They're all 2-1. Vandy lost to TCU. Arkansas lost to TCU. TCU lost to Missouri in extras. So it's a good weekend of baseball down there in Arlington. Number 7 is Florida. They swept Charleston Southern. Number 6 is Wake Forest. They're 4-0. Texas A&M, they swept Seattle University. Ole Miss is number 4, swept Delaware. And then you got the top 3. These 3 teams really stand out. Number 3, you have Tennessee, who is 1-2. Kind of surprising that D1Baseball.com still had them as number 3, but despite the 2 losses. But they were without Maui, and Maui is their big-time shortstop that just transferred in. He is the number 22 on the draft board for MLB.com, 22 prospect, so he's a big draft guy. And then, of course, Tennessee has the ace, Chase Dollander, who is a right-handed pitcher, number 2 draft prospect in the country. And really, Dad, I was telling you this weekend, Chase Dollander just really stands out as one of the better pitching prospects that we've had, draft prospects that we've had in years. They're saying he's the biggest pitcher since Garrett Cole and Steven Strasburg. Remember all the hype when they were, it was their draft year. So very, very cool to see, to follow Chase this year, see what he can do. Tennessee lost to Arizona and Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon has a top 25 draft pick shortstop as well, Jacob Wilson. Number 2 is Stanford. They went 2-1 against Cal State Fullerton. And then the number 1 team right now in the country is LSU. And they swept Western Michigan this past weekend. All eyes are on LSU. A lot of expectations because they have 2 big prospects on their team. The number 1 overall prospect, outfielder Dylan Cruz, and then number 4 draft prospect, right-handed pitcher Paul Skeens. So they got 2 guys in the top 5 So all eyes are on LSU to try to make a deep run. Really, anything less than, a win or two in Omaha is probably a pretty, not a good season for LSU. Those are their expectations this year. So my two favorites to watch this year would be LSU and Tennessee, and we'll see what they can do this year. And now we're going to send it over to Ty. What you got for us?
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, definitely LSU is going to be really good this year. Tough to beat. I'm pretty sure on all the betting apps they are favorited to win the College World Series. So definitely going to be a team to look out for. What I'm bringing to the podcast today is I'm going to talk about the MLB Desert Invitational that started on Friday. College baseball is back. Let's go. I'm super excited for it. It's going to be a great season. Just going to kind of recap what happened over the weekend. So Michigan State was in it. Tennessee, which you mentioned, Zach. You also mentioned Grand Canyon. So this was played in Arizona. And there was a ton of top prospects to look out for. Like you said, Zach, the number 2 prospect for Tennessee, Chase. There was also, I have a list pulled up here, the number 9 draft prospect out of Grand Canyon, Jacob Wilson. Maui, like you mentioned, Zach, shortstop, you said he was out. Michigan State has a shortstop, Mitch Jebb, who's pretty good. He's the 44th prospect. We have Chase Davis out of Arizona, the number 51 prospect. We have TJ Nichols out of Arizona, number 69 prospect, and the number 88 prospect, Homer Bush Jr. out of Grand Canyon. The Invitational has been pretty good. It's been all over MLB Network all last weekend. It was a good kickoff to the NCAA season. There was a ton of games on ESPN Plus, so it was fun to watch. A few major leaguers stopped in and watched some games. I think they had Juan Soto on the mic at one point, watching Arizona play. Tennessee's going to be tough this year. And then to recap, when Michigan State played Michigan, it was a tight game, but Michigan State won 15-8. And they put up like 7 or 8 runs, I want to say, in the 8th. So that's pretty cool. The Invitational is rounding out today. It's just finishing up right now. We're recording this on Monday. Grand Canyon played Michigan State at 1, and UC San Diego played Arizona at 3. So a really cool way to start off the season in Arizona. I think, like you said, Zach, LSU is the team to look out for. But I think Michigan State has some good prospects, and they should be pretty decent as well as Michigan. So I'm excited to see what happens. Now I'm going to pass the mic to Zane. Zane, how's your season going? How's the start of your season?
Yes, we are already 3 weeks into the college season over here at the NAIA level. Actually, 4 weeks in. We've only played 3 weeks over here at IU South Bend. I always find this time of year pretty funny because everyone goes nuts on Twitter. The Super Bowl's done, NFL's over, college baseball is ramping up at the D1 level, and everyone's like, oh, baseball is back, when, the small colleges have been playing for about a month now. JUCOs and NAIA started up that last weekend in January. So, I mean, it's crazy when people think about it, how early college baseball starts, but here at the small college level, like, our seasons usually wrap up in May. At the NAIA level, our World Series is played that first week in June, whereas at the D1 level, they go pretty deeper into the year, into the summer. But yeah, we're 3 weeks in. Right now we're at an okay start, not ideal. First weekend we went 1-2, played some really good teams. Offense struggled a little bit, which is kind of to be expected for us. First time our guys have gotten outside since the fall. So, at the end of the day, not really an excuse though. But right now we're sitting 4-7. Pitchers have looked really good. Offense is starting to come around. So, a lot of good things to build off of. Like Dad said, we're heading down to Georgia this weekend to face Georgia Gwinnett College, who is consistently very, very good at the NAIA level. They won the World Series back in 2021. So, they're going to be consistently good, and they're ranked in the top 10 right now nationally. So it's going to be a good test for our guys to see how they stack up against a team that's bringing guys in, year out that can pitch it, can hit it, and do it all. So it's going to be a good test for us. Looking forward to the college season. To kind of, I was able to watch some of those D1 games like you guys, like when I was in the hotel this past weekend. Kind of touch on that Chase Dollander kid a little bit. I have a feeling that he might drop a little bit in the draft after watching him in his start against Arizona. I think he has really good fastball. I think he commands it well. The only thing that worries me about him is his slider. Right now I think he threw about his slider 27% of the time. And it, to me, as a college coach, as kind of an evaluator that kind of looks at the game from a different scope than most, is that slider kind of sits there a little bit. It looks like it has kind of some gyro spin on it. In other words, like football spin, like when he throws it out of the hand, it has spin similar to a football where it's got that spiral. It's not super sharp. It kind of sits there a little bit. I think he might run into some trouble at the pro ball level. So I know he's the number 2 prospect at the college ranks right now, actually for the whole draft. So I wouldn't be surprised if he drops below that number 2 slot. I think he'll still get slot money, which we can dive more into that after the whole season plays out, and what goes down and who emerges, and we'll just kind of see down the road. But I think he's a really good arm, but I could see a lot of scouts kind of bumping him further down as the year progresses, but I could be wrong. I mean, he did give up a home run on that slider, so we'll see. I think there's a lot of good baseball out there this year, and I think there's a lot of teams that could be sleepers. But I mean, I really like this time of year because I'm able to watch some guys that I coached, go out there, do their thing at the Division I level, and do what they do. And it's pretty cool being able to see a lot of them on TV, guys that I coached in the Northwoods League. And I got some kids over at Notre Dame, some kids at Lipscomb that they played each other this past weekend. It was really fun to watch when I was on the bus. But this time of year is just a lot of fun. It's that weird time between NFL and MLB starting up, and people are chomping at the bit to watch some baseball. So a lot of eyes are going to be on all of college baseball for the next couple weeks before the World Baseball Classic gets going. But I'm really excited for this college season, and hopefully we can touch on a little bit like consistently, because like Zach said, college baseball coverage has boomed a lot, and not just at the Division I level, at basically all levels. So I know we get quite a bit more coverage at the NAIA level now than we did back when I was playing. So looking forward to the year, looking forward to the spring, and then right into the World Baseball Classic, into the MLB season, and then we're going to be talking Omaha in the blink of an eye. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of good baseball out there. So if you have a chance to watch one, you see it on ESPN Plus, ESPN, I highly recommend you tune in. It doesn't matter who's playing. Like, I recommend you tune in because there's good baseball at all college levels. D1, D2, D3, JUCO, NAI, all of it. There's good players all over the place. So if you have a chance to go catch a game, if someone's not too far from you, I highly recommend you go watch, because some of those games are the most exciting ones to watch. Like, those are the best ones you can go out and really see people playing like hearts on their sleeves every chance they get. College baseball is just an amazing breed, and I highly recommend people tune in as much as they can. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and you guys had a lot of good insight, and hopefully everyone's getting geared up for baseball season.